On flat ground, a baby iguana can outrun a racer snake. But others are waiting in ambush.
The weaklings have a way of surprising you. From lions, wolves, and snakes to cheetahs, centipedes, and crocodiles, they all got thrashed by their prey.
They are each other's prey, but they are also each other's deadliest opponents.
Let's dive in. Number 1, the monkey's distress. This poor guy was not taking a bath in the river. It was being held captive by a crocodile. The sudden attack had gotten all the monkeys riled up, but they couldn't possibly have helped their buddy down in the river. But this monkey needed no help. For a few seconds, it looked distressed.
Like and subscribe right now, and you'll have amazing luck for the rest of the week.
Then, out of nowhere, the monkey leaped into action and wrestled its body out of the croc's grasp. That monkey is going to be crowned for this act alone. Number 2, Pumbaa's gutsy escape. A bunch of warthogs had spotted a pack of lions and were running off to flee, but a tiny warthog had gotten caught in the middle of the chaos. Before you know it, the lions were recorded fighting for the baby in their mouth. But don't write off the warthog just yet.
She should be toast, but this hog's got heart, even as a tyke.
Even if it is a small cub. The inner tyke of the cub roared, hopping around to trick the giants at the front. Before the lions could figure out what had happened, the warthog was fleeing away like the speed of the wind. The baby warthog managed to smoke these predators. Number 3, the hopping guanaco. Pumas may not be the most dangerous type of cat, but they can be ferocious to any walking herbivore. This puma decided to go after a guanaco, but the animal was prepared and knew where the puma would attack, so it kept rocking its neck to avoid getting bitten by the puma.
2 meters tall and over 3 times the weight of a puma.
In its defense, the mountain lion grasped onto the guanaco's body, tightly holding on to leap at another chance to take down its prey. But the guanaco didn't want to be eaten. It was willing to dance to throw the puma off. The struggle worked for the big guy, and it scurried out of there in a hurry, leaving the puma with a bruised ego and a wounded body. Number 4, honey badger, stubborn defense. This honey badger was minding its own business when a lion made its entry. You'd think this guy would run away, but it stayed put, fully aware the king of the jungle was right beside him. The lion's ego was probably hurt by that, because what happened next is what any lion would have done. The badger knew it was time to run, so it darted into a sprint, leading the lion right behind him. The chase went on for a few good seconds until the badger finally stopped. It slapped the lion and bolted. Yeah, that seems just about right. Number 5, the unusual winner. Wildebeest is a common prey for the crocodile. Look at this clip here. The wildebeest often migrate from one part of the land to another by crossing the river, but half of them become easy meals for the crocs, chopped and dragged into the water. But not this wildebeest here. It was attacked by a cunning crocodile in the river and was being dragged into the water.
The wildebeest cross, is it trying? The croc's holding the tail.
The wildebeest swam and swam, fighting against the current to cover the few feet to land. The predator had its grip set on the prey's tail, making it difficult for the animal to run. The wildebeest struggled and made one last hop, fleeing from the wrath of the crocodile. Number 6, squirrel bites more than she can chew. This squirrel has taken on a risky game, but it has to protect its babies. The only way to do that is to scare off this snake before it can do the same to her baby. The snake took the bites personally, pouncing on the squirrel whenever it could, but the lucky animal kept dodging and biting back. It knows very well that a single bite from the snake could take its life, but she keeps nudging the snake to move. Suddenly, the snake got agitated.
The mongoose circles, looking for a weakness in the cobra's defense.
It was ready to launch into an attack when the squirrel got scratched by a blade of grass. It knew then that the snake's bite would be deadlier, so it grabbed its gutsy spirit and fled. Number 7, the fleet of meerkats. One of the baby meerkats ended up colliding with its biggest enemy, the cobra. Good thing that its family was near, and they came running to the scene. It may look like the adults took the snake's attack personally, but that's not the case. These guys want the coast clear, because if the snake is out dancing like that, their whole family will be wiped clean. So, the meerkats bit and pounced at the snake and sent it slithering back to its hole. Number 8, the wolf pack. A hungry pack of wolves had gotten the whiff of a tiny buffalo cub. Only a few animals have been known to get away from this mighty predator. Believe it or not, you can add this buffalo and her tiny cub to that list. With a gutsy spirit, the mother buffalo thwarted the wolves.
Hopelessly outmatched with the courage of innocence, he's not going down without a fight. And the inexperienced wolf flails.
The cub wasn't too behind either, and took it upon itself to survive. The duo sneaked off into the woods and out of sight of the wolves. Number 9, the two predators. These guys were fighting for territory, but the snake won the battle by showing its dominance.
Then they try to intimidate each other by increasing their size. If big is bad, each wants to say, I'm the biggest and the baddest.
The monitor lizard decided to forfeit, but not without giving a tight slap to the snake. Boy, that has got to hurt. Number 10, duck playing with fire. Ducks may be the boldest creature ever to mess with a tiger. In the pool at Symbio Wildlife Park, it decided to play the ultimate game of catch me if you can with Jalur, a 126 kg male Sumatran tiger. Well, the duck was winning. Every time Jalur tried to grab it, the duck pulled a Houdini, diving underwater and popping up on the other side, confusing the tiger. To make things worse for Jalur, the duck didn't just dodge. It flapped its wings like it was showing off, practically daring him to keep going. After 10 minutes of this humiliating game, Jalur had enough. Frustrated and clearly defeated, he stormed off to the shade. Number 11, the gazelle's mighty comeback. Cheetahs are the fastest animals on land. Make them 3, and that's a mighty power pack working forcefully against the prey's odd. This gazelle was ambushed by the same power pack. Yeah, 2 of them are cubs, but they are Cheetah's baby, so the ball was never in the gazelle's court.
Is more than twice her weight. So the cubs try to help. They can't let the prize escape.
At least, that's what you'd write down on paper. But watch this gazelle absolutely smash the predator's chances of a win. At one point, the cheetah had the gazelle in its jaws.
The gazelle's spear-like horn skewers her torso. It punctures hide and muscle, deep into an area packed with vital organs, stomach, liver, and bladder.
But the gazelle outsmarted the cheetah by thrashing its horns into the predator's stomach. Not only did the gazelle flee the cheetah, but it also managed to brutally wound the animal. Absolutely wild. Number 12, narrowly escaping death. This is the battle of the sharks. Believe it or not, one is more threatening than the other. Our first contender is an angel shark. It is notorious for its ambush hunting technique and is a known predator. It will pitch its camp underground and then launch a surprise attack on its prey.
Blow-out sand that helps cover its body is set. Staying close to the seabed is a good way to avoid most predators.
Meet the second contender, the horn shark that lays low to avoid the bigger animals swimming above. But in doing so, it has set up a trap for itself. You think the battle is over? Oh no. This guy managed to swim out of a shark's mouth using its tiny stinger. Talk about an unusual win. Number 13, penguin's dash. This penguin is being chased by a hungry sea lion, and it is not willing to let the meal slide. The two fall into a chase underwater. In a panic, the penguin climbs up onto the iceberg and tries to thwart the plans of the sea lion. It works for a moment until the sea lion follows pursuit and hops right after the penguin onto the iceberg. But the sea lion couldn't quite climb up properly. Due to its bulky weight, it kept sliding down into the sea, unable to hold on. The sea lion gives one look at the smart penguin and then dives back into the water. Maybe next time. Number 14, the kangaroo rat's escape. Rodents attract snakes. This one had called one on itself too. Now, it was being eyed by the slithering predator.
Like some kind of furry, spring-loaded ninja, the kangaroo rat dodges those venomous fangs. And it didn't just get lucky.
Ready to attack. But you won't be able to guess what happens next. Yep.
The rat uses those powerful legs to kick free, before the snake can inject its lethal dose of venom.
The rodent makes it out alive. You thought the rodent was going to get ambushed by the snake? Oh no. This kangaroo rodent has a trick up its sleeves. It can hop high and sneak away, throwing a shade of embarrassment down the snake's way. Number 15, the tail bite. This poor turtle has a shark on its tail, but don't feel sorry for it yet. You have to see how this sneaky turtle outsmarts the shark. The mighty predator only has one trick up its sleeves, pouncing on the turtle using its ferocious jaw. The turtle knew that, so it skillfully used its shell as a shield and foiled the shark's attack repeatedly. The predator got exhausted by the witty turtle and decided to move on. But the turtle didn't want the shark to get away without a battle scar. The turtle was tired too, so it snipped on the shark's tail and bolted. Number 16, centipede's demise. A centipede can kill a prey much larger than itself. From snakes to rats, these are the kind of challenges it takes on every other day. So, a scorpion seems like an easy defeat, right? At least, that's what anyone who knows a centipede would think.
Scolopendra uses all its strength to try and get under Redclaw's armor.
But this gutsy scorpion turned the tables on the centipede, using its stinger for a quick attack. Next thing you know, the centipede is the one being munched on. Number 17, the otter's sly trick. Meet the otters that are an easy target for the coyotes, but this one has a mother to protect it from the hungry pack. The otter gives her life up for grabs to create a distraction for her baby to run. That worked out well for her cub, but she got entangled in an angry mess. The otter kicked and smacked, but her opponents were 3 coyotes.
When the youngster flees, mom's on her own.
There was only so much that she could have done, but there was one way to escape them. The otter brought the pack closer to the hole in the snow. As soon as she got near, she waved them goodbye and slithered inside. The coyotes could only look back at each other hopelessly. Number 18, iguana's stealthy escape. It is one thing to stand tough against a snake. Multiply them into a whole fleet, and anyone would be left frozen in fear. But not this guy. The iguana sensed the snake on its rear and launched into a sprint. The animal jumped, ran, and crossed the rocks, with one snake falling down the cliff. It looked like a scene from a Hollywood movie, but the action wasn't over yet.
Another hatchling has its first glimpse of a dangerous world. A snake's eyes aren't very good, but they can detect movement.
The angry snakes cornered the animal a few miles away and managed to hold him down. But the iguana slithered out of the tight hold and bolted. A single iguana managed to wake up the whole fleet of snakes, and yet they could do nothing to the small guy. Bravo. Number 19, the crab's feeding ground. This is the Sally lightweight crab. Nothing about it says that it can defeat a predator that is 10 times bulkier, bigger, and more dangerous. But watch this tiny crab defy the odds and escape from 2 predators. The crab has no choice. It has to cross the rocks to get to its feeding ground, but the 2 animals lurking nearby are in a fight of their own to gobble down the crab first. Before we go on, did you know eels can slither on rocks like a snake? Boy, am I glad to be a human. This tiny crab dives into the water, sliding into crooks and dodging turns to escape the animals on its tail. It slaps away from the octopus and kicks the eel. The crab manages to hop onto a rock and sprints crazily to its feeding ground. The predators will have to wait for now. Number 20, the assassin bug's kiss. This is a tiny nymph of the assassin bug. It could be crushed by an animal, and its life would end right there and then.
The bugs have cornered the pup on a ledge and aim the blood-sucking siphons right at her.
That's probably why it goes after bigger prey. Take this bat as an example. The nymph crawls into a cave and slides near a sleeping bat. Next thing you know, the nymph is sipping blood from the bat, like a vampire. Don't tell me you've missed the irony that's visibly evident here. Number 21, Rhino's bold comeback. It's a face-off, a rhino versus a buffalo. At first, the buffalo gives a little fake charge, and the rhino runs like it's scared out of its mind. You'd think, what a coward. But hold on, the rhino had a plan. It suddenly turns around, charges straight into the group of buffaloes, and sends them all scattering. Now, the buffaloes are the ones who run, while the rhino struts off like the king of the savannah. The rhino wasn't a loser, it just wanted to make a dramatic comeback. Classic power move. Number 22, the hypnotizing dance. Meet the stoat that can take on a hare that is 10 times bigger than their size. How? By dancing.
Spinning, jumping, and twisting. The stoat inches closer and closer.
Yep. The hares were left so mesmerized that one of them ended up falling straight into the mouth of the stoat. Number 23, Croc snatches cheetah. A cheetah was drinking water at a pond, keeping an eye on a crocodile sitting far away. It felt safe, thinking the croc wouldn't bother it. But what the cheetah didn't know was that another crocodile was waiting, hidden under the wall. Suddenly, the second croc strikes, grabs the cheetah, and pulls it into the water. The whole thing happens so fast, and the cheetah's friend just stands there, stunned, watching it all go down. Nature doesn't give second chances. Number 24, Fledgling's flight. This baby fledgling decided to take a break on the surface of the water. As it was busy enjoying the view, somebody had its eyes set on the bird, the giant trevally fish. These creepy predators need a chance to attack these birds. Just as they take a break, the fish makes sure that it is their last time to rest. This one somehow got the sense that the trevally was onto it. The bird leaped into the air, missing the fish's ferocious grab by a few inches. The fish was knocked out of its senses by such a brutal escape from the bird. Number 25, the ostrich's wild attack. Bullies of the wild may not always be big and tall. Look at this pack of hyenas here. They can easily trap and defeat a lion. Going after an ostrich and her babies is no big feat for them. So they stood a few feet away, eyeing the baby. But they had no idea who they were messing with, a mother ostrich. She charged a bit reluctantly.
The clan are cautious. Do they know something Zalika doesn't? Ostriches give as good as they get.
Hoping it would scare off the hyena, but a hungry pack wasn't about to back off that easily. So the ostrich launched into a sprint, running off like a maniac after the hyenas. One of them even got trampled on. Poor hyena definitely learned his lesson. Number 26, tricking the monster croc. What a peaceful sight. A bushbuck quietly sipping on water. It looks simple, right? But the mere act of drinking water in the wild is like charging headfirst into a burning house. This animal is pretty much doing the same. The river is filled with monstrous, sharp-toothed crocs who are the sworn enemies of the buck. See? Told you. But the buck's flying maneuver and ultra-powered instincts earned him another day in the wild. That's some absolutely insane reaction time, if you ask me. Number 27. Otters tease orangutan. The otters are like a group of mischievous kids full of energy, ganging up on the orangutan, who's clearly the grumpy old man in this scenario. Armed with a stick, the orangutan swats at them like he's trying to keep them off his lawn, completely unaware of his own strength. Meanwhile, the otters act like they're on some mission to take him down, charging at him like tiny warriors. It's a hilarious mismatch of size and attitude, with the orangutan looking more annoyed than threatened, while the otters give it their all. Number 28. Taught a lesson. This kangaroo rat shows why it's the master of escape. A snake strikes ready for dinner, but the rat plays the Uno reverse card. Using its powerful legs, it kicks the snake mid-bite and sends it packing. Kangaroo rats are tiny, but insanely quick, able to jump up to 9 feet to dodge danger. It's like the snake didn't even stand a chance. Number 29. Anemone's sneaky defense. This is the most silent battle that you'll see. The sea anemone was on the ground, dancing away. Suddenly, a sea star came into focus and stealthily started walking towards the anemone. The predator's sharp grab was enough of a trigger. The sea anemone twisted its entire body and hopped into action, swimming away. I bet you didn't know it could do that. It almost looks like the sea anemone is taunting the sea star as it flees. Number 30. Saved by the man. This man's doggo had been attacked by a kangaroo. So, what does he do? He slaps the animal. The poor guy was so startled that he decided to leave it. Number 31. The worst swimming teacher. The albatross learns how to fly near the sea. The babies take flight, and when their wings give up on them, the birds take a little break in the sea, but they can only rest for so long. The tiger sharks hover just near the surface, having taken on the challenge of wiping the population of albatrosses clean. That is what was about to happen to this little guy. He took a little break and ended up almost getting bitten by the shark.
The young bird tries with all its might to mimic its parents and get airborne.
Yes, almost. The albatross used its legs to walk on water, and then eventually took flight. The motivation to live is far beyond the exhaustion of a flight. That shark has a bad reputation, though. It is simply helping the babies fly. Number 32. The polar bear's smart tactic. You'd think a beluga whale would be hard to kill, and you'd be absolutely right. They are impossible to catch in the water, but not when a polar bear is in the picture. This guy is a beast on the land, but can be equally destructive to sea animals, too.
Experience has taught this old-timer how to be an efficient hunter.
Like this beluga, who stood no chance against the polar bear. Can you imagine? A bear hunting down a whale. I can't even comprehend that. Number 33. The family of kangaroo. This is a dingo, and it likes to hunt in a pack when it is going for large kangaroos. But this one was so eager to get a joey that it decided to do it all alone. The kangaroos were blissfully unaware of the hunter at large. It stealthily walked up to the tree.
The mother and her joey make their getaway too. The dingo bursts after the ruse.
And that's when the male kangaroo got the hint. It took his family and they sprinted into a run, hopping at over 30 miles per hour. The dingo is no slouch when it comes to racing at blazing speeds. But there was no way it could have gone after the hopping family all alone. Number 34. Gorilla brawl. Two gorillas are going at it, fighting like heavyweight boxers, while the person filming wonders where the zookeeper is, as if anyone could stop them. The fight is pure chaos, with both gorillas showing their strength and refusing to back down. Let's be real. No one, not even the zookeeper, would want to step in and break up this wild brawl. Number 35. The snail's defense. Most snails hide in their shells when they are trying to flee from predators. But this one has a special weapon that's enough to send a grown animal running, the slapping shell at its back. Yes, the snail uses its shells to beat the predator cold. Yep, it takes full charge in a battle and calls them into a boxing match. Next thing you know, the predator is out running like a coward. Number 36. Hippo's lion lesson. This lion clearly thought chasing a hippo was a brilliant idea, because what could possibly go wrong, right? Well, everything. The hippo opened its massive jaws, grabbed the lion's head like it was a chew toy, and gave it a good shake. That's all it took for the lion to realize it had made a terrible decision. Number 37. Buffalo's lion revenge. The lion thought climbing a tree would save him, but fate had other plans. He slipped and fell right into the middle of an angry buffalo herd. The whole herd didn't hold back and charged at him, hitting him with their horns again and again. Each buffalo took its turn, making sure the lion wouldn't get back up. It was clear this was more than just defense. It was pure revenge for every lion attack they'd ever faced. By the end, the lion lay lifeless on the ground, surrounded by the herd that made sure he wouldn't pose a threat again. Number 38. Giraffe tramples lion. This lion thought it had dinner sorted. Just one quick pounce and the giraffe would be on the menu. But the giraffe had other plans. It hit the lion with its long legs and casually trampled over it for good measure before running off. Guess the lion learned the hard way that messing with a giraffe means risking a one-way ticket to being humiliated. That's all, folks. Which of these videos left you gaping with shock? Is there any prey that you'd like to see outsmart its predator? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and keep on tuning into more exciting videos. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.